Okay. So, again, would you like to say another introduction?
Yes, the introduction not to take too much time. So we are two together. I am responsible for handling technologies, and technologies is always driven by the customer and demand. And Rodion is totally responsible for customer, clients development, etc. So I've mentioned about our way of a translating company. Please, next slide. And today we have got very great day. First reason is that we're here at LocFromHome-4. We have watched all three conferences and very thankful organizers and Smart Cut, brilliant organization of all three conferences before. This is the first reason why I'm happy very much today. Another one is that on 27th May, 31 years ago, our company, Ego Translating Company, was founded. Yes, it's our birthday today. And another birthday is happening today. It's St. Petersburg, Russian large city. It was founded by Peter the Great in 318 years ago. So 3 points, 3 reasons to be happy today. Well, we are quite large company, large language service providers in terms of Russia. We are among top 5 Russian language service providers. We have got good expertise in many industries and managing more than 200 employees in different regions of Russia and worldwide, and owning our own software developments and software IT solutions. So a few words now about the customers. Rodion, your stage.
Yeah, there you have it. So you can see from the slide that we've got mostly oil and gas, energy, and heavy industry guys as our customers. Those are number one winners that I got to mention, and that's a great luck and honor again to work with champions. And we were mostly concentrating on large, like global or nationwide projects that involve a lot of technical translations with all that it takes, like translation memory, machine translation, post editing, these sort of things. So you can see we also have some retail, IT, and banking among the leading like industries of our clients. That's just for you to know what kind of customers we're dealing with. Now that we have said a couple of words about the company and the customers, it's time to get to the third ingredient, the third promised one, customer development. As an approach or a practice, whatever you call it, it's pretty famous. So we're pretty sure that most of you guys know about it, but do you really? Because it's we used to kind of discuss this matter in the LSP industry. Is it really as common? Do you guys know what it means? Do you apply it on a regular basis? So please post us in the chat. Now, for those of you who are not as familiar, as closely, familiar with the approach, or anyway, it's worth repetition. It's actually about your cross-functional team that is necessarily got some sales reps, marketing, and product management involved. It comes up with an idea, and they just want to check it, get it approved, validated through the customer communication in its most general. And once it gets validated, you come up with a market hit, let's say. So that's the basic essence of customer development. So we have gone sort of a way consisting of 3 major stages before we actually decided to implement the concept. And those stages are as follows. Again, please.
Yeah, Rodion, people writing that something is bad with your voice and it's a bit far away. Well, but I'll take now my word. So thank you. Yes, the first stage was no customer development at all. And like Rodion said, we used to be doing pretty good with large clients, big projects, super detailed technical translation projects. and we just could not see the reason to change our extensive growth strategy. Our goal was to sell as much translation services, both translation and interpreting, as we could. And our processes were cemented to scale our successful practice and approach. Who would think of any transformation when there is no obvious limit to extensive growth, right? So no cuts dev, thank you, we are doing fine with all what we are. But then things began to change, and I believe most of the present here know and went through this way. We have noticed that our clients are evolving like the market itself. So we had to follow their demand. We and other language service providers produced the products and services just to remain useful, just to remain with their demand needs. And I guess, so we see on this slide just, well, our vision and our approach to providing the services and products tailored to the needs of customer at different stages. But we can call this stage Precast Depth because we were already engaged in customers' reality, but kept being reacting actively, but still reacting, which is, I believe, right approach.
I think, yes, that's right. The right way to describe that stage. Can you hear me now, by the way?
Better a bit.
All right, thank you. So yeah, there was a Precast Depth stage, but it was already a huge thing because we picked up some technology as opposed to zero technology at level 1, stage 1, and we decided to keep our eye on a customer. So that's a good starting point from which we jump right into stage number 3, where actually customer development comes into our life, and it all starts with the idea, another back to school episode about Precast Essential, the idea that you come up with, and then you analyze the market, evaluate it, and assess how good is it for your idea, how is it going to fit in it, and that's like at the first glance. And the idea of customer development is that you always get a better idea, a better product or business model that is going to fit the market better with every iteration. And then you go and try to identify your target audience's issue. So you've got another hypothesis of what is wrong with your target audience, what is the problem it's trying to solve, and you go hunting for insights. That's where the actual communication goes. It begins and goes in circles actually, and your target issue, target audience issue hypothesis is getting more and more like crystallizes. Then you get back to market evaluation and assessment. How big is the market for your idea of your project, and what's the commercial potential? And then you decide to concentrate on the problem actually that is worth concentrated on, because your target audience's issue, it may be complex, like consists of several problems. So you choose the one that you want to help the customer fight with, and you've got your value proposition. You propose the most efficient, the most helpful, useful way to solve the problem. And then goes the MPV, like the minimal value product that is not good enough to be like put on the supermarket shelf, but is already good enough to deal with the problem that you have identified, and you try it and finally get into the most harmonic and like profitable point, which is product market fit, to which everybody's aiming for. And those things that I think they're more like a mathematical kind of thing, economy scales. Let's leave it to Evgenia and get to another exciting thing. Actually, the most exciting, I think, in terms of the discovery that we have done through customer development, which is the new market shape. What is it? It actually can be described with one most important word, which is more. The customer needs more now. More data formats, more quality, because once you get like dependent on the system that is consuming data, of course you obviously get dependent on the quality of that data. And team roles, you need all those guys who can deal with different aspects of data quality management. So get ready for team growth. Now, we say that we know that, but how do we know? Okay, those are good old-fashioned ways that we're told about. Actually, just communication to our clients in every possible way. And thanks to Corona, by the way, people became more eager to chat online. So there's more information online. So it even made it a bit easier for us. Now, once we decided to implement this customer development approach, it means that the client is the center of the universe. We put it into the very center of our focus, and there it is. Now, what do you have to do when the client is #1 world champion? Well, what you try to do is you try to grow up to meet his expectations. And those are the components of growth.
Exactly, to be the champion together along with your customers. So, and we defined and went through three major things to improve. So first of all, the team. We started with those who was on board, and we inspired, involved. During the year, we even led a gaming competition activities to involve team to go through agile and technological approach. So one should guide your current team, inspire, and pick up the best from your customer side as well. So learn from the customer. We had technical partners who we could outsource, and some people we had to hire for sure, but the team was somehow created to go forward to go along new customer demands. Then for sure goes processes. Just keep your eye on your customer. Those guys know how to do the business. And once you go agile, you won't believe you used to be waterfall. It just makes no sense. And number 3, for sure, you'll have to embrace technology. No matter how it scares you, your management, your colleagues, your team. So we chose the way to invest both in in-house development, but there are a lot of open source solutions which we just needed to learn how to use. So the big 3 here to be along with championship of your customer is processes, teams, and technologies. And now we are coming to the most interesting part, to our real life stories. Each of them is quite special, and that was the starting point for new product development, new approach. First one, and it was the current client, large productive enterprise with constant translation demand, and we have noticed that they were not happy with the result in terms of volumes and quality. So after Precast Depth way approach, we realized that the only way to get better was to deal with the available TM and TB databases and apply those tools that we once developed for ourselves and help them to improve translation productivity and language data quality. So that was the first time when we validated our natural language processing toolkit commercial potential. So we sold it to our client and used it in-house. And another case, I suppose, yours one, yeah?
Yeah, I really love the way that in the first case, as the result, we had, on the one hand, our client satisfied, on the other hand, our commercial benefit. That's a good combination. And actually, I think it's pretty much what the customer development is all about. Now, case number 2. I can talk about it for hours, but I will try not to. And the truth is that I was really involved in this case. It all began with a incoming request of a new client. which appeared to be international IT development or developer, I'm sorry, and they wanted us to record a large voice corpus by a female Russian narrator. But before the narrator for 15,000 sentences voice corpus is chosen, they wanted us to give them 20 narrators. Each one of them records 50 identical sentences, and then, based on the quality assessment of this material, they select the ultimate one, the ultimate winner, who's going to record this large corpus. So, well, the technical requirements were like 20 pages of small font, and it's pretty confusing. But for your information, we do multimedia localization, so we partner with like top Russian studios, and we checked one of them, and they said no problem at all, 20 narrators anytime. So what the hell, we're in. We're signing the contract with the international IT developer, and that's when the real fun begins. The studio says, okay, the narrators told us that they need a slight contract revision. Just let the client write there that it's going to be limited use within a certain project. Nothing other than that. Say it's like a tourist guide, digital tourist, like voice guide, something like that. They want it to be like a navigation, digital tourist navigation system. Do I have to say that the client says no way, no limitation, unlimited use, including reselling? So the narrator said, okay, then it's going to be 5 times the money, and the contract is already signed. And that's when we begin like always shuttling between all the parties involved, between our client, between narrators and their interests, and between the studio as the like technical process executor. So we learned plenty new things: how to be a voice coach, how to manage voice data quality, how narrators like voice loses, goes down in price after you sell it with exclusive right of resale and stuff like that. So there's no better way, I think, to learn about a thing than to look from different points of view and have sort of like a 3-dimensional picture of it. So as a profit, we know about voice corpus recording, about voice data recording. You need voice corpus, we can do that. That's pretty satisfying for us. Again, number 3, the offer.
Yeah, that was tough case. I remember you, it was absolutely a personal achievement to go through that. And the third case comes just after the previous one, when we were really ready for about speech synthesis, and that was also from our current telecom client, which had AI lab, and they had a need for multilingual chatbot data. So we went through different stages, which were absolutely unknown for us before, like data processing for extraction and designing chatbot scenarios, speech recognition, dialects clustering, sentiment analysis, etc. And we had to use our personal proprietary platform, natural language processing toolkits, open source APIs solutions, together with outsourcing and crowdsourcing some of stages. But happily, we knew very well the part of speech synthesis, and were ready both to localize the scenarios into 6 different languages and speaking narrators in different scenario combinations. So that was another one.
Yeah, and you can see how it works. Like case 1, you try one thing. Case 2, you try another thing. Case 3, a combination of the 3. And those are just 3 cases, but we had a lot more. So as a result, what used to be a traditional LSP company became a kind of a certified AI company's data provider, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and just summarizing, yes. So considering our so-called medical history, our customer relations experience, we took 4 major steps. As a traditional LSP, you get as big as you can extensively. And if you are good, you get rewarded with some extensive success. And then if you are ready to invest and have enough budget and resources, you are starting R&D part and exploring along with customer experience. And we looked around us and international landscape, how masters in the language industry is going its way. We recruit, we make our team bigger, and then there was the stage for sure for IT solutions, both applied for better quality of translation and localization and for our current needs. And hereafter, customer development approach and looking and digging into the customer needs, we came closer to natural language processing potential. So, and that was possible because we gave an opportunity to our clients share their experience and ask us about for this help. At this stage, we had to put spin-off model to build absolutely new approach and new team within our organization because it's still quite bureaucratic, large, and rigid in different processes. So we don't know what will be the next stage. We hope that our customers would lead us to the space, to the stars, and that's, I believe, at least the most interesting way. So
yeah, and Evgenia, to keep up with the schedule, we need to start Q&A session in 1 minute, I think. So just 1 minute for you to.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Speeding up. I guess you can call it a concept shift from translation project management to data quality management. That's what we wanted to pay attention to, which is an important discovery for us. And actually, we are about to finalize, and you know, all the things said like technology, productivity, return of investments, etc. They do matter, but it's all about partnership. And us language guys are here to help the customer, you know, cope with the language/cultural barriers while they build the landscape of tomorrow every single moment of today. And when they require you to be a partner in a slightly different manner, please dare to be such. That's what we appeal to, you know. And customer development is an instruction of how to keep your hands, you know, outside or along your body as you dive into the void of unknown. This is unpredictable, but it's such a dive. And the biggest award that you get is your partner still like considering your partnership efficient enough. So dare to be the partner your partner wants to. That's what we appeal to. Thanks very much for your time. Now, if you've got some questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Thanks.
Yeah, there are questions. Just to remind that we have ebook giveaway for the best question. You can choose. So,
Max, can you see the chat?
Yeah.
Well, I just see only greetings and congratulations on our birthday.
I have Q&A session open.
If you should put on any question because we prepared a good book, which would be pleasant to get as a gift from SmartCut, actually.
Of course.
Yeah, the book is really nice. It's good to be here again because all I was seeing was the presentation. I felt kind of blind.
Okay, let me help to read these questions for you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. How do you handle it when your client has requirements that involve internal investments due to technical development? Do you go all in right away, or do you do a return of investment analysis first?
Well, we just dive inside the request. We are grabbing this request from the moment. And then that's the approach which is luckily shared by our management and by, the stakeholders. So we learn from the customer request, and there were all these three cases mentioned. They were unprepared, both in terms of technology and in terms of investments. So we had an opportunity to try different options, and we luckily handled it.
But
So,
of course, I mean, of course we do. I'm sorry again. Of course we do the calculations, and we try to reduce the cost where we can, and we try to encourage our customer to invest in the technologies that involves, because normally it's profitable for both sides. Once you're really interested in something big, the customer is interested in investment because it's going to be a return with a reward. So yes, we do both. But as it comes to the case that Evgeny was talking about, yes, this is so exciting that we jump right in sometimes.
Okay, good. Then let's take a look on the second question. It's about case 2, and it's from Nanang Shri. Voice corpus for speech synthesis. How to check the accuracy or the occurrences?
The accuracy?
How to check the accuracy and occurrences? Occurrences. So
I'm afraid I don't.
Okay.
Well,
the accuracy. Well, this is a technical requirement. There's this certain software program that is used to check the parameters of like voice data. So you can, like, from different tools are applied.
Okay. Let's give a chance to Kate with her question. Oh, Evgeny, do you want to add something?
A part of what mentioned, the success there was that Rodion, who was leading that project, was very close both to client and to our technical supplier. So it was very easy to get the very feedback just on air immediately.
Kudos to Rodion. Okay, so the next question from Kate. Apart from bespoke service, what do you think is the most important factor to consider when choosing a solution for a client? Would you put the priority on budget, innovation, or maybe something else?
The best priority would be the quality we could provide, because if we realize, and we had such unfortunately cases, that we won't be able to provide the quality required, we would reject, as the first speaker put the questions. Only if we understand that our technological readiness or solutions available are not sufficient for the quality required at the project. And this is possible to get only after very detailed briefing with client. So for all new products and services, we are very detailed briefing. Only in this case, we understand that, yeah, we are ready to go through it, and we are ready to find new solutions, new technologies. So the quality is the, I believe, crucial factor.
Okay, Evgeny, Rodion, just to remind you that you will need to choose the winner to give a book. So we have two more questions. One from Lizaveta. What percentage of your team had to build up NLP expertise to work out the third case? Did the project require special training for your translators?
We applied some crowdsourcing activities for sure at this stage, but last year we started new recruitment of translators and other people who could be ready for NLP tasks. And if we talk about in-house team, 90% of them was involved in the project. Some learned outsourcing tools, some redeveloped our proprietary ones, and others were responsible for sure for recruiting specialists required for the project. So special training for sure, but we learned very good practice when we started training our post editors for machine translation technologies. And we had like a school for machine for post editing translators, and so we have such an experience, and that was quite easy to restructure those approach to the new specific, to the new skills.
Okay, and the last question before we let you choose the winner, please try to answer it as short as possible. A question from Saul K. What are some of the most common mistakes when doing customer development?
I think the biggest one is asking the wrong questions. Like, would you like to have a fine translation quality? Would you love us to come up with a product that is going to satisfy your need, like something that has already got some imply, you know, that provokes the customer answer in the way that is going to lead you to some mistake, and then you take that as a fact, and that is a false fact, which is the biggest. And actually, the book that we going to soon choose the winner, who's going to get it, is all about the right question, asking the right questions, so that the customer development doesn't lead you nowhere.
Okay, so we had 5 questions. First one from Denise, then we had question from Neneng Shri, then from Kate, from Lizaveta, and the last one from Saul K. Evgenia, Rodion.
My heart is going to question about voice corpus, because we will have to discuss it later, as we didn't understand the details, and the provoking questions are always the best ones, I suppose.
Okay,
so
I guess it's going to be a rock, paper, scissors situation, because I like the one about factors influencing the solution choice. But Evgenia, of course, the choice is yours.
Okay, thanks. So this is for voice corpus speech synthesis.
Okay, congrats to Neneng and Evgenia. Rodion, thank you very much for a nice presentation.
Thank you very much for having us.
We hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to see you on networking.
Cool.
Yes, sure.
Bye.
Thank you.